Welcome back to Judith Plains, Montana. I'm BEP, and this is the 555 Challenge. It is a sunny morning in May, and we have a lot to go over. A lot of changes on the farm overnight. Hope you guys enjoyed the intro video. Finally got a full AutoDrive course set up for the slurry delivery. So that was 100% automated. Obviously the gates have to be open, but that was all said and done through AutoDrive, which let's get AutoDrive turned off. Perfect. So let's go around and see the changes on the farm today before we get into what we have to do on the farm to keep things moving. So first and foremost, you can see we put in some new fencing and added some gates to our dairy pasture. That allows that truck to come through here, slide on over, grab the slurry, and then head over here. Had to put some more gravel in. As you guys know, this hill is slippery and treacherous from previous episodes, and then head on out. The other cool thing is this path takes us right by the milk tank, so we can use that same course to get milk and take that up to the dairy as well. So other big changes, and guys, we've got a bunch of stuff to go over here. So let's start with the main shed. I did a bunch of moving around. You can see up here on the left, I moved the pallet rack outside the shed. Wasn't a bad spot for it in the shed. It actually was sort of out of the way, but getting things loaded up and having to back them into the shed seemed a little bit unnecessary. So went ahead and moved it out here, got everything put in. No visual changes right here, but this is actually a different fuel tank. This is actually one we own. We can fill with fuel, so we're not buying the fuel as we use it. So did remove some decorations from this area over in here, try to get it cleaned up a little bit and just make it a little easier on the eyes. And also, since the plan is to discontinue to increase our AutoDrive network, getting more and more things out of the way is going to be very, very helpful. So the big change for today, guys, I still have all of the hay bales on the trailer because the truck hasn't been back to the farm and not running errands yet. But look right here, we put in a new bale shed. So changed up the sheet pen a little bit, got it color matched as close as I could. I think it's pretty darn close to the same color. But have the bale shed in here. Found one, had to get one with the gate and the fence to keep the animals out of the shed. But our goal is to get the Volvo back today and have him pull in here and fill this up. Now let's see, we should have, what, one full pallet of milk here. That one's full. That one's actually pretty close to full too, so we're in good shape there. But really excited about the new bale shed for storing our hay bales. Could have thrown them in the shed on the other side, but just felt like we wanted to store them somewhere closer. And then on top of that, it is right across from the TMR mixer, so we know if we need to get hay and put it in the TMR mixer, we're right there to do it. I did talk to the county and got some zoning stuff done, and that billboard here has been removed so we can better and more effectively navigate this area. And then one of the last changes, I came down here in a previous episode, we put in a manure heap, and it was working, and then it disconnected from the greenhouses. So we swapped that manure heap out for a manure heap extension, And then, because that one connects to the first 3 greenhouses right here, then we brought in the heavy trucks, did some landscaping, and as you can see, put in a manure heap back behind to help manage the other ones. So now all of our greenhouses have been converted over to manure production, so water and manure, which increase our output as well. So those are the big changes in the structures of the farm. The other change I made, our little Case IH 90C, the little tractor we have that pulls our Brantner trailer around and helps feed the chickens and run manure back and forth, was just on the struggle bus for power. So we did pay, I want to say it was like 14 grand, but we did have that tractor. I'll show you guys over here. There's not much to see, but you know which tractor I'm talking about. We did have this tractor straight ahead. We bumped the horsepower from 90 to, I believe it's 110. We can check real quick here. Let's just see. 117 horsepower, so we bumped it up, and it was struggling. I was pulling some manure over to the greenhouses, and it was barely maintaining a mile an hour on some of the hills, and just felt like it was time to get that done. So those are the big changes here, but definitely some changes that affect the usability of the farm. Going to make things much more streamlined in regards to getting stuff in and out. And I did, in moving this pallet rack from right over here, I did take the remaining pallet rack out of this area of the shed. And the reason for that is because at the end of last episode, guys, we went and grabbed the whiskey. And we got 85,000 liters of whiskey, 85 pallets of whiskey, and quite frankly don't have anywhere to store it, which is why it's on the edge of the cornfield this morning. So I'm thinking we're going to use the space in the shed over here, find something that holds more, even if it's just a semi-temporary fix. I've been feeling a lot like we're going to need a distribution center of some sort to keep our productions on track. One of the reasons, and I'll show you down here, late last night I was getting ready to wrap up for the day and go to bed, and I figured out that our bakery was not producing because it was full of bread. It had 55 pallets of bread and was no longer producing bread when the flour was coming in. So at like 11 p.m. last night, I ran to the bakery, grabbed all of the bread, and brought it back here. And as you can see, we've filled up a pretty significant portion of the cold storage. So between 55 pallets of bread, 85 pallets of whiskey, you know, we're at 140 pallets between two productions. We had 15 pallets of clothes. I feel like we're going to need some kind of distribution center in the long term. I don't think we're quite there yet. I think the pain is now, but the time is not now to make that change. And I am thinking, and I've been looking at this for a couple of months now, there's this little square of land which would be much closer to the road right here next to our cornfield. I'll sort of pop up so you can see it. I'm thinking maybe we put like a distribution center like in here. And that way trucks could sort of come in over here, go around the back of the building, pick stuff up, come back out here, loop, and make stuff out. Now, the challenge is this little piece of land, I call it a little piece, is actually the production ground for the whiskey factory, the beer factory, and the farmer's market and the general store. So it's a $260,000 piece of land, which is just not right up our alley to buy today. So I think in the future we will grab all that and go from there. So let's get started today. Let's get the Volvo headed back to the farm. I guess we could have it fill up. That's not really the end of the world for it to do that. All right, so that's all said and done. We do need to go around and grab our full pallets and get those distributed. So what better than the top kick, which we bought specifically for this task, to do that. Now, I also did some experimenting last night, and I thought I could put a gooseneck hitch on the top kick, get rid of the flatbed, and I could pull that gooseneck with this flatbed, and it would definitely pull better. This truck is a beast, and the Super Duty is great, but when we get heavy, it struggles. The challenge is there's no flatbed for the Super Duty, and the regular truck bed holds like one bale and like 3 or 4 pallets, which I just don't feel like is enough if we're talking about, you know, going around and picking stuff up. Because we get, what do we get, like 11 or 12 pallets of wool at a time last year. So, you know, I think that's just making sure we are on full pallets only. I think we're going to need to keep this as a flatbed. I actually debated getting a second one of these trucks to see about pulling stuff, and it just doesn't make sense at this juncture to do that. I think at some point we'll need a second truck. I'm considering putting the Volvo on permanent BGA duty and just having it run to the BGA and back instead of having to constantly disconnect it, because as you guys saw, our hay you know, is sitting on the flatbed there because we don't have a semi-tractor to pull it in here and load it in. So we probably need one more truck, as silly as that might sound, just to get everything where it needs to be. So we'll see how all that goes. Let's go drop the eggs off in cold storage. We'll run the goat's milk up. I might actually see if we can just put the goat's milk on AutoDrive, because I believe I have the dairy set up. I haven't tested it, but we may just see how that goes. I'm just trying to go real slow to get just the eggs. There we go. Throw the strap on. Perfect. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to make sure this guy doesn't have a head-on collision with the Volvo, because the Volvo should be coming around the corner here any minute. And let's go see if this guy will go up to the dairy and unload. Yeah, see, look at that. Would have been a head-on with the Volvo. So we'll sneak by it, wave and say hi, see if the Volvo is going to make it around that corner. It's very concerned about, I think it's the plow. It has some sort of collision concern. This plow must have a huge collision margin, because everyone seems, yeah, see, I mean, that's nowhere near the Volvo. The Volvo hits the sign, but it's afraid of the plow. So just get it back on track. May have to make some adjustments there. So let's see if we can get him to go deliver to the dairy. So do we have the dairy? We do. We'll send him up there. Let's just send him out and see what happens. He is not going to go anywhere once he gets there, so I don't know if he'll unstrap and unload or if he'll stop up there and we'll go get him. But we'll figure all that out once we get things moving. Want to grab the Volvo after it fills up here, and we'll park the tanker trailer, go deal with our bales, and then, guys, we have, is it rice oil to sell today? Yeah, rice oil is set for June, so we're in May. So yeah, the price is going up. It's currently $2,077 a pallet, and the best is $2,136. We're within $3,000 of that best price. So let's bump time up just a little bit and see if we can't get that price to get moving. And I think we get that sold and check in. So just a lot of fun and exciting changes on the farm. Really pleased with the AutoDrive course set up to get the BGA stuff taken care of, because that was becoming a pain, and getting in and out of that dairy pen is not very easy. So let's head over and grab our hay. Let's load up our new hay barn over there for the sheep. Maybe even give them a pallet or two of hay to enjoy. A pallet, a bale. You got pallets on the brain, guys. I fed the cows, I think it was about 325,000 liters of TMR last night between the two pens. Have some good silage going in the mixer. Let's take a look. So in regards to the productions, the fermenting silo has another 137,000 liters in it, and the TMR mixer has 78,000 liters of TMR, has silage, does not have hay. So the next cut on, like, I think the little grass field will be ready first because we cut that one early. We will be making hay to make sure our animals are fed. And we could obviously use this hay, but we don't need to. And we got, as I said, 300,000 liters of food in the pens already. Loading this might be a little bit of a bear because it triggers back at the back corner. But I think we'll get, I might have one row of bales left we can't get off. Oh, I think I can get a little better. Just going slow so we don't tip them over. Wow, look at that, guys. Got them all in. So let's go ahead and get turned around here. I don't know how we're going to do this. This is going to be a tight turn. Wow, I am surprised we made that, but we did. So, sneaking back out. Let's go in and check real quick and see how this turned out. I mean, that's perfect. We got a fence up so the goats and the sheep can't get in and get to their hay. We have this little spot that opens. We could park the top kick in or something else if we needed to. And then the trigger, I think, is like right... Let's see where that trigger is. We'll just turn it on real quick. Always got to find the triggers. Yeah, so it's just behind the gate here, and it was right in this area. So then if we wanted to spawn, let's just spawn one. We'll spawn 2 bales and feed them real quick. But see, they spawn in there, so you could even get in there and get them before the animals get in and eat them. So really pleased with the way this turned out. It took me a long time to get the placement right and everything else. And as of right now, I don't think we have any clipping with the animals. The shed's far enough back. The fence is complete. Turned out really, really nicely. Would highly recommend this as an addition if you're playing on Judith Plains, just to add this into your gameplay. I'll show you guys real quick. Just go into the placement menu. If you're looking and you're playing on this farm, let's just I'll grab the same shed just for consistency's sake, but let's see where to go. Right, it's got to be right in here. Maybe? Maybe not. Probably scrolled by it like 3 times. Should be right in here, guys. Well, either way, let's just grab a shed. But, oh, here it is. It's this one. I probably looked at it 3 times. This is the shed version. But if you come in here and you go to customize, and you guys want to know what the color is for this farm, it is, on the RGB, it's 168, 197, 170 is what I found to be the closest. And you can see that's a pretty dead-on match to the building there. So we'll jump out, and let's get the triggers turned off. All right, and let's head out. We do need to get the semi and the trailer cleaned up before we go pick up the rice oil. It is a muddy, mucky mess from running to the BGA. Want to have clean vehicles going to get food. I have been debating picking up more of a reefer style trailer to go pick up the food items. Probably a better fit overall. So maybe we'll check the sale real quick when we're done here. Alright, that is 100% clean, and I can tell you Oh, didn't mean to jump back in. I can tell you the truck is not 100% clean. This thing is an absolute mess. Yeah, 87, 86% dirty. Go ahead and get it all cleaned up. Check the sail, see if there's any kind of enclosed trailer that might be a better fit for us. Only problem with the enclosed trailer is that, one, you got the height clearing around buildings, and two, it does limit the space and stuff you can put on as far as, you know, picking the stuff up. So let's check the sail real quick, see if there's anything in here that might make sense for us to grab. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, nothing really speaking to me here. Could get a JCB. Been thinking about getting a front loader, but probably not going to be very much use. Yeah, I think we're in good shape, so nothing in here we want. Let's go ahead and head down and pick up the rice oil from the oil factory. I will catch up with you guys down at the oil factory once we're there and getting loaded up, and then we'll figure out where we're going to sell. See you guys in a minute. Just pulling into the oil mill, getting squared up. Did a little bit of addition to the AutoDrive network, so hopefully we can get the truck down here on its own now. Like I said, I think we'll be doing a lot of running back and forth, and be able to send trucks places and deliver stuff places is going to be important. So let's see how this turns out. Not even really sure how much we're supposed to be getting out of this. Hopefully a lot, making 100-ish, 120-ish thousand dollars. Well, it's coming out. We got a lot of it. Give them that. $53,000, 57,000 liters, or 57 pallets. And that appears to be it for the rice oil. Don't want to send it to selling. That would be a mistake. Now, where are we taking this rice oil? To the restaurant. Let's go ahead and tag that place. It's currently $21.52. So we are at... Oh, we don't want to do that. Bumped in time up too fast. $21.55. We gained an extra $3 out of it. But we want to get up there and get that sold. So we got the good price. Where is the restaurant's over there? Okay. Maybe we haven't sold at the restaurant yet. This could be a new and exciting adventure. We'll have to check and see where it takes us. And then after this, we got to find the top kick and see where it ended up, if it made it to the dairy or not. Didn't get any indication that there was a problem, so hopefully it's just sitting at the dairy with the goat's milk, ready to put it in to the dairy production. 3,000 meters. Let's just ride the brakes there for a second, guys. Hold on, having a hard time stopping again. Where is it that we're going? We're going all the way up here. We've not been to the restaurant. Okay, I mean, so we're going around the corner and down the horn and away through the woods into grandmother's house we go type situation. So brand new sell point for us. It's amazing, guys. We're in our 3rd year on the map and still finding places we haven't been on this map. That is absolutely incredible. Such a great map. Such a nice big map too. Alright, so I think this is... Oh no, I think it's up here, right? Let's just pull up the map. Yeah, we're going up to the next field. So we used the train last time. We sold stuff. What was that? That was the... was that the clothes we sold at the train? Had to be something. Who knows? We sold something down there. Now we get to go this way. I'd love to get down into owning some of these fields. These are some nice big fields, and we could certainly get some of these plowed up and together and make some mega fields. I mean, look at that field over there. We could take that one all the way to the edge of the map. Is that 2 or 3 fields over there? That's 3 fields. 18, 19, and 25. Whoa, everybody pay attention to what I'm doing. This is a big hill. Wow, look at the slope on that. Woo! Okay, we are gaining speed despite being on the brakes. Oh, another parking lot easy to navigate and turn around in. $122,922. That is a great sale, pushing us up to almost 200K. I think we are going to be in position to make a significant purchase here relatively soon, whether that's a field or maybe that big piece of land for the distribution center. But figure something out once we get well over the 200, get closer to the $300,000 or $400,000 mark. But yeah, guys, that would be a great field. Pick up those 3 fields. Could actually come down here, do a bunch of forestry, cut out those trees, and then we can combine with this field up here along the road. We could make that an absolutely massive field. Let's take a look at the map real quick and just check that out. Yeah, so if we got rid of the forest on 149, and then we could combine 4. Okay, so 4 is 20 acres. 31 that's 50 acres. 75, 95, 110, 125 easy plus whatever this is. This is another 21. So we're looking at almost 150 acres. You could get a huge, huge field out of that. And that would be just something come down here with this. We'd actually put a barn down here. Have like 3 harvesters that just lived down here for that field. That would be really cool. I don't know if we'll ever get that done, but I'll be on the lookout for that type of opportunity, because that would be great as far as expansion goes. Because as you guys remember, we're at 100 acres, which is really good news. We're 20% of the way to our 500 acre goal. I do think the infrastructure that we've been setting up and the income source we've been setting up, we're more than 20% of the way done with that. I don't know that we're close to done, but I'd say we're maybe 50% of the way done with the setup, the productions, the land, the equipment, just the income from animals, the having manure to use on our fields. Like, a lot of that stuff is already behind us, which is really exciting news. So we're just trying to rake in the money now and get all that stuff done. So real quick, we got to pass the school bus. Sorry, kids. Hopefully there's no one on it. It is, I guess it's 4 o'clock. Hopefully the bus is heading back to the depot and all the kids have been dropped off yet. Don't drive like me, guys. Anyways, hopefully, so we'll head back. We'll get the whiskey loaded up onto the tilt deck here and get that stored in the main shed. I think that storage is going to be temporary. I don't see stacking pallets on the floor in the shed as a good long-term solution, and we are going to have to figure out a distribution center. If we're filling up the bakery before it's time to sell the bread, potentially the dairy, the spinnery, having that stuff, having those products be able to come back to a distribution center where we can hold them all and then collect them and sell them as needed is going to be a critical step, because having to run up to the bakery and remembering to run up to the bakery every couple months just to grab the bread and bring it back here is going to lead to some lost profits. Maybe we need to put some trees in with the goats and the sheep, give them a little bit of shade. They do have the barn, so they can always go inside if they want. Oh, we got another pallet of milk there, guys. I was thinking we were going the other way. Someone already cut that corner. We don't want to be that guy. So let's head this way. Let's grab our whiskey. We got a stop sign. Don't tell anyone. It's probably a federal offense to be taking street signs like that. Don't want to get in trouble. So we'll get all the whiskey loaded up. Like I said earlier, guys, 85 pallets of whiskey. That is an insane amount of whiskey to me. That is just absolutely crazy. There we are, 85 pallets of whiskey. Let's see if we can't kick this bad boy over, avoid the corn, like we've driven a truck once before. Ooh, yeah, just missed it. All right, so we'll get this put into the shed. We'll run up and check on the top kick who has our goat's milk and see if we could get that set up on AutoDrive. And then I think that's going to be it for the episode, guys. But lots of good changes in May, sort of just a maintenance month as far as getting stuff going. I think our barley is going to be ready in June, so we will be ready for that. So we're going to run in here, as always, hit it with a quick save before you do any construction, just to make sure if anything crazy happens, you're good to go. This should not be a big deal. So what we're going to do is grab a addable trigger. I downloaded the addable trigger or addable storage. I think it's addable trigger mod, and it gives us the ability to store 250 pallets or bales, and you just sort of drop it in wherever you need it. So again, probably going to be temporary. Don't see this being a long-term storage spot for us, but I do think that we just have to get this whiskey. We can't leave it on the side of the field with the corn. I mean, that's just not a viable option. So we'll get it into the barn, and we'll work on it, or onto the shed. We'll work on a distribution center, somewhere to store this. We could go down and try to put it into cold storage, but getting it in and out of there is always a challenge. And with this much, getting that trailer backed in is always a bit of a problem down there. So let's get a quick pull up. That was not my best work backing up, unlike avoiding the cornfield, which, you know, I'd say was pretty pro level. Okay. And without hitting the quad track, can we get those? All right, so let's jump out and check and see. Yeah, so our whiskey's being stored. You can see our little bale storage sign. It'll be there out of the way until we need it. All right, so let's find... Guys, top kick is right where it needs to be. We'll undo, so we got to actually take it off a course play because it doesn't know what to do. It can't actually unload. So we'll drop it there, and then I think we just hit it return to farm. Let's see if it gets out of this parking lot, because this is always a challenge. Part of the reason I wanted this truck was for parking lots like this, because with AutoDrive, something with a big trailer would be a significant challenge to get in and out of there. So guys, that's going to be it for May. You know, a nice successful episode. We got the BGA and the slurry pickup in the dairy barn fully set up on AutoDrive. Made a bunch of changes around the farm to meet our needs better. Moved some storage racks, added our bale shed down for the sheep, upgraded our little case tractor to help with projects around the yard. You know, got the bread collected, finally got the whiskey in storage, sold the rice oil. It was a productive day in May. A lot of running around, a lot of errands, but we're going to be heading into harvest season soon, so it's good to have that stuff done. And I'm excited to see what June will bring. So thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos. Channel memberships are available if you'd like to support my content further. And channel members do get early access to upcoming videos. That's all for today, guys. But I'll see you in the next one.